Okay, it looks like we are live. We'll give it a second to let people start kind of trickling in. For everybody who's already here, uh, drop where you are in the world. Would love to know just kind of the areas that we're speaking to. Um, Ellipse already got a shout out within the first, I don't even know if it's 10 seconds. So shout out to you on that one. Where's everybody from? Cloud9, what up? What up? Okay, Salt Lake City. What's up, guys?
Hey, Trayvon. I can see the chat now.
Yeah. We got Louisiana. Obviously. Okay. Nigeria. Wow. Right on. Cool. We'll get started in a couple minutes. I just want to continue to see where everybody's at. Morgantown, West Virginia. Cool. Man, I got to get my passport up. This is cool. All right. Oh, and then on Instagram too, I'm looking through. We got Algeria, we got Jamaica, Chicago, Montreal, Chile, upstate New York. Danny, that's you too, right? Was that you commenting, bro?
I guess I'm up from New York City. Yeah.
Oh, you're like in the city. Okay, right on. My bad. You know, in Texas, it's like all we know is Texas. We don't really know too many other areas. Cool. Okay. It looks like we are good to go. So first and foremost, thank both of you guys for being here. Thank everybody for tuning in. I know we're going to have more folks kind of trickling in as time goes on. But for those who maybe are a little bit unfamiliar, my name is Ogden. I'm a part of the BeatStars team here, the community engagement manager. I think Danny, Ellipse, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves in a couple of seconds, but I kind of want to set the stage a little bit here first, right? I think, you guys who are watching have probably seen that here at BeatStars, we have been on a slew of incredible product releases. One of those is Promote, and we have enhanced it. I think we have had some incredible feature additions. And so one of the things that we wanted to do today was talk through not only how to use those, but then also some best practices that we have here as well. So I don't think there are really two other better people to walk us through this than Danny Gallardo here on the BeatStars team. And then we have Ellipse here as well on the BeatStars team too. So Ellipse, I'll give it to you to introduce yourself. I know you have a better introduction for who you are than I do. So the floor is yours.
I feel like he's pretty much summed it up. No, I'm a producer. My name is Ellipse or Lisi, depending on where you know me from. I work here at BeatStars on the creator success team. So my job really is to partner alongside creators and help them to understand how to switch their mindset into an entrepreneur and, kind of help assist them with gaining success and reaching those goals.
Perfect. Danny, you're up.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Danny. I'm a product manager here at BeatStars. I manage the marketplace products as well as the ad products, and Promote is one of those. So very excited to talk to everyone here today.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's dive in, man. Let's dive in. Danny, if you could share your screen, and what I want to do is walk through some of these enhanced features that we have. I think one thing that I would love to call out that I think is just really important is, for us at BeatStars, we always are trying to listen to the community, right? We listen to what you guys have to say, and we are always actively trying to implement the things that we think are going to help you guys become better entrepreneurs. This is one of those tools, and I think it would be a disservice if we announced this incredible tool yesterday and don't really walk you guys through how to use some of these. So, Danny, my first question really to you is, what is new within the platform? I know we have a handful of things, just high level. What's been added so far?
Yeah, for sure. I think, one of the main improvements that we have right now is that in terms of analytics, in terms of statistics that you can actually see for your Promote campaigns, specifically, you'll be able to see how many sales come from campaigns. We also have additional features around being able to see what countries people are interacting with your product from. And in addition to that, one of the biggest ones that I'm most excited about as well is the addition of sound kits. So now you're able to promote sound kits on the BeatStars platform. So if you're more into selling sounds and kits, there's an option for you now.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So one of the things that I would love to start with is the custom targeting. I think that's something that people have been asking for a very long time. First, Danny, I'm going to ask you if you could just kind of walk us through what it looks like to do custom targeting. And then Ellipse, I'm going to pass it over to you as well to kind of talk through some best practices, just some things that we've seen as well. So we'll keep it balanced here. But Danny, you have the floor, man.
Yeah, sure thing. So for anyone who's been a user of the Promote system before, you'll know that you can go into your studio and click the Promote tab. So we kept it in the same place. So anyone that's familiar, you know exactly where to go to find it. For those that haven't used it yet, you'll get a little pop-up explaining the feature a little bit and giving you a warm welcome to the brand new feature that we have. And what you're seeing right now is my global dashboard. So these are all the campaigns I've already ran. But specifically to see the targeting, you'll see that when I go to create a new campaign, we have this sleek new layout, which gives you a lot more customization options for your campaign. And down here in the targeting section, we have the global audience, which is what we have today, going broad, and then being able to create a custom audience here with keywords and locations. So keywords can, be anything from, a type beat, whether it's an artist name, a genre, an album name, sky's the limit here. You are limited to 3 keywords currently, and then you can have a location, so different countries as well.
Perfect. Ellipse, question for you, and we can kind of keep this maybe a little bit more general for a best practice concept, but for you on the creator success side, how do you kind of advise to utilize this feature? And I guess from an expectation standpoint, how should somebody be looking at utilizing this or just promote in general whenever they're starting to develop a campaign?
That's a great question. And when it comes to ads of any kind, it's all about understanding your audience. So I would advise that this tool be used in that way. Always go based on the data that you already have. Our stats dashboard from prior to this update was filled with a lot of different things that can be useful. But I would always advise people to go and do their research, go and look at the charts, find out what niches and like what tags are being used, make a list, and start to experiment with those things, run small campaigns and come back and look at the results, because, I can give you a bunch of tips, but the reality is it's going to be different for every person. So being able to kind of go through your own stuff and take a look at that and document what's working, what's not working is going to be the best tip for you for success on this new system.
And you know what, actually kind of to that point too, and feel free to chime in as you see fit to steer me here. Because some of those data points that people have, I think it's just helping them understand what they can actually already look at that's like already available to them, right? So old Promote data that you were talking about, right? Also, right. Google Analytics data, right? YouTube Analytics data, Instagram data. It's like you have all of these kind of already free tools, if you will, that you can pull from, that you can then kind of develop a campaign off of. Because you already have some historical data there, if that makes sense. Do you agree with that, Lisi, or are there any other additions that maybe you would add on to that or tack onto that?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are a good start. I think TubeBuddy is another great resource if you're using YouTube already. That's filled with a lot of data points that can be used wherever you have an audience, whether it's Twitter or X, Instagram, wherever you are, there's an audience around you, and they're indicating their interest level in your product or in your personality or in your brand every time they interact with you. So being conscious of those things and starting to take note of what things are getting engagement, what questions are being asked, and just, even if you've never run ads before, taking a look at your own profile, the types of beats that you've uploaded in the past, and just taking a look at the organic data that's coming through or the feedback that you're getting and noting those things down can be useful. You know what?
Also, I think this is a good point. I want to take a minute to incorporate some audience questions. Also, guys, feel free to drop your questions as you think of them. We'll answer them throughout as well. This is Instagram as well as YouTube too. But Dixon Sider, I want to address one of your questions, and Danny, I'll kick it over to you. But essentially what he's asking is, with this new targeting feature, how do we make sure that beats are being seen by artists and not producers? How do we differentiate that through tags?
Yeah, definitely. I know that's a big question on a lot of producers' minds, especially as we move into the new system. So one of the ways I can let you know that this operates, right, is that if you think about how people are coming to the platform on BeatStars and using BeatStars, of course, there's going to be producers signed into the platform, looking at tracks, maybe the top charts, maybe you're interested in seeing how other producers are, managing on the site as well. But a majority of the people coming to the site are going to be buyers, right? Are going to be people looking for beats. So if you're targeting, for example, let's just say, for example, you make Kendrick Lamar type beats and you want to capitalize off of, the new album drop, the Kendrick Lamar type beat keyword. You can imagine that if you're a artist searching for those keywords, now you have more opportunity to show up specifically for those artists, right? So in that way, I think that's probably the best way to think about how this targeting is going to work, is that the more narrow and niche your targeting is, the more chances that it's going to be a buyer or someone who's interested in that genre or that style looking for that beat, right? And so the other thing I can let you know is that in terms of the way these ads display on our site, for example, sound kits won't show up necessarily everywhere on the site, right? Like if you're a producer, chances are you're going to beatstars.com, clicking the sound kits tab, and that's where you want to see the sound kits being promoted, right? So we're also making sure that we're not showing sound kits on the Tracks Explorer page and things like that. So it won't be a producer, being shown to buyers and a artists being shown to producers, essentially.
Perfect. Dixon, let us know if that answers your question, man. And if you have more questions, let us know for sure. We'll have probably a dedicated Q&A session a little bit toward the end. Additionally, we're going to do a quick round of trivia. So that way for folks who are here, essentially you'll answer a question really quickly, and then we're going to give you $50 in promote credit. So we wanted to make sure that, you guys watch this whole thing and then at least get a chance to try out this updated system. But anyway, Danny, next question for you, man, is we also have introduced bidding, which is something that we have not done before. Would you mind walking us through how to set up a bid and also probably answer a couple of questions that are going to come through the comments as well?
Yeah, for sure. Sure thing. Just to address one other comment I saw on the targeting before we move on. Someone asked, can they narrow to state or just country? To start, we're just doing country at the moment, but please give us your feedback in terms of how targeted you want to be, and we can take that into consideration for the future. In terms of the daily budget section on the new promote campaign, you'll still have your daily budget that you can set, right? Your maximum daily budget that you're comfortable with. And we introduced this concept of bidding. Bidding is a concept that essentially you can find on multiple different platforms, right? Like if you've ever promoted yourself on other platforms, you know that they manage their campaigns with a bidding section as well. So what does bidding actually mean? Because of the way that the system works, right? The system is essentially, think of it as like an auction, right? And there's, thousands of producers trying to get in front of a buyer or an audience or a target, right? So how do you determine who do you actually show? Well, we wanted to level the playing field, whether you're a starter producer coming onto the platform or someone who's established and, has had a business for years. How do we make that fair so that when you're promoting, you're not being overshadowed or you have a fair chance? So bidding kind of allows that. The way that bidding actually works is that, for example, if I have a bid, the easiest example to give is the one actually with $100 bid. This basically means I'm willing to spend up to $100 for every 1,000 impressions of my ad, right? It doesn't mean you're going to spend that every single time, right? It just means that you're willing to pay that much for every single impression. What does that mean? To determine what value you're actually paying per impression, right? Because you're willing to pay $100 up to 1,000 views, right? So you would just take that 100 number, and divided by 1,000, and you get 10 cents, right? So you'd be paying 10 cents for every single view. So you can imagine that if you have a $2 bid, you'd be paying a lot less for every single view, but you'd be outcompeted by someone who's willing to pay just a little bit more for their actual impression. Where does this strategy come into play? How does this actually help you guys or help you compete in the market? Well, if you're a producer who's trying to figure out, what they're trying to do in terms of selling and kind of gaining an audience, whether it's free downloads or whatever you might want to target as your objective, you can set your target at whatever you might like, right? But you just have to keep in mind that there's other people in the market trying to compete, and they might be willing to pay just a little bit more for that view than you are, which means that they'll be preferred when it comes to that search term. So if there's two people, targeting Drake keywords, the bidding amount could potentially determine which ad gets shown at that specific time. Now, one really key element of this is that just because you have a $2 bidding amount doesn't mean your ad never gets shown for that keyword. As people use up their impressions and their daily budgets, your ad is more likely to be shown, right? Because we're not going to exclude you from being shown. It just means that if someone's willing to bid more for that impression, they're more likely to be shown sooner than you, right? So it's just a strategy. It's something that we think everyone's going to have to really look into and experiment, see what works for them. It really is determinant upon your model and your business. But this allows more fair play in the market and allows you to compete on bigger targeted keywords by being able to say, I might be willing to spend a little bit more for that Drake keyword or that, whatever keyword you think should have a high spend.
Perfect. Ellipsi, I'm going to toss it over to you. Before somebody even starts to spend $1 on bidding or anything within Promote, I'm curious for you, is there kind of like a checklist or list of recommendations that maybe we have even for just understanding your audience, right? Like, I think even starting there before spending $1 probably would help, but I would love to just kind of know, from your perspective, how should we be, or how should somebody who maybe is newer to Promote or maybe even an intermediate user be thinking about how they develop their audience before spending $1 here?
Well, that's a loaded question. It's really gonna depend person to person. The strategy is gonna change. To sum it all up as quickly as possible, though, I'm gonna always advise you to look at your data and also look at your income, your budget. Everything's gonna change. I'm never gonna sit here and advise somebody to go and put all their money into something without research. This is a new system for us, and for a lot of people, this is the first time they've ever seen these types of or worked with systems that are built on bids like this. So I think that a really good advice for people is to not get caught up in the bidding so much, but instead to take a look at what their goals are and to set their budgets based on what's reasonable for them. For somebody who's been invested in campaigns or who's more experienced with ads, they may feel more comfortable having a higher budget, but this really isn't about out-competing people. It's about gaining data and insight into your audience. The more data you have about your audience, the more effective you're going to be at targeting those people with your ads. And that's something that's going to be universal across any platform. So BeatStars is really just joining the ranks with that. I wouldn't be too intimidated by the system. There's a lot of ways to experiment, and I'd be happy to go into those things maybe in a different session or go one-on-one with people to help them figure out what strategies work best for them. But it's really going to vary person to person. And I really think that the best thing to do is just to use this as a tool to gain insight before you make any crazy high budget decisions, unless that's something you're already comfortable with.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I would love to also just kind of take on one of these questions too. It's a little bit of a challenging type of question. Lisi and or Danny, this is for you. But Dame Run It Up, he says, okay, cool, but a high bid will eat up your budget fast though. Do you guys, is this true? How do we want to address people who have these same types of questions? And from a strategy perspective, how can we maybe help work around this concept?
Yeah, sure. I can answer that first. And Lisi, if you have something to add, feel free to chime in here. So if you have a higher bid amount, yes, you will go through your budget a little bit faster. What bidding allows you to do, though, is that if you feel that you have a product that sells, or you know that you have a beat that consistently sells, then you're essentially trying to tell the system, hey, I'm pretty confident in this beat. I think I've seen this beat convert really well already outside of Promote. I want to put this in front of more people. And you're, like Lisi mentioned, you're trying to use your business model, your research, and your data to kind of understand what's the most you're willing to pay for a user, right? And so, yeah, it just means that, yeah, you might be paying a little bit more, but you might be more confident that those impressions are going to lead to sales, right? So it's going to be different for everyone. There's no one size fits all for every producer using the platform, but it's going to be a very personal decision, and it's going to be something that, as you use the platform, you'll learn what that sweet spot is for you.
Perfect. Let me see, guys. Again, if you guys have any questions, continue to throw them into the comments, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook as well. Danny, I would also love to take a look at the new analytics dashboard that we have too. If you could maybe show that and walk through that as well, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll pop out of here and I'll go into, if you click these 3 dots on the side, you can go into view details for a specific campaign. And you'll see that there's a lot more detail in the dashboard for that specific campaign now. So let's say you have 20 campaigns set up. This information will stay in your campaign, regardless of whether it's active or has finished already. So each campaign type, right? There's tracks, there's profile, there's sound kits, and there's albums. Each campaign type is going to have different information in this top section here. The reason for that is because there's just different elements, and interactions that you can do on the BeatStars platform with different types, right? So for example, for tracks, I'll have plays, impressions, sales conversions, earnings, free downloads, likes, reposts, and recordings. This data is just 1 day of data. We just launched the system yesterday, but you can see here that this beat that I promoted on my profile, now I can see where people are actually clicking into my beats from, where there might be interest, and maybe give me more insight into what types of strategies I might want to do down the line. But you can hover over the bar and you can see exactly how many people from that area interacted with your product. So whether it's a beat or a profile or a sound kit or an album, you'll be able to do this across each. And it might expose some data that you've never known before, and also some new ways to think about your business. Down here, you'll have the ability to see your invoices. So if you want to know how much you paid for this specific campaign, you'll be able to do that. And let's say this campaign was really successful for you. You'd be able to see the settings that you used in case you want to go back, learn from it, and potentially continue to use the same settings to hopefully get the same types of results you're looking for.
Perfect. And then, we had another question on Instagram from Rob EVN. What's up, Rob? His question is, how are sales conversions tracked? Can we tell? How are sales conversions tracked, and kind of knowing a little bit more about the algorithm behind that? Danny, I think that's probably more of a question for you there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So sales conversions, we're basically like when you run a campaign, we're basically attributing any conversion, right? Whether it's sales, we consider plays conversions, we consider free downloads conversions, right? Everything is a conversion that you see on this. It just depends on your goal, right? And essentially 1 month after the ad is shown, we're tracking and we're attributing to that campaign. So let's say you run a campaign today and the person doesn't purchase it for another 2 weeks, you'll still know that it came from this campaign based on the attribution.
Perfect. There's another question, Lisi, this might be better for you. In Kinda 1, how will I measure my success KPIs? I think maybe that question could be a little bit broader as to what's the best way to maybe think about measuring success. So Lisi or Ellipsi would love to get your opinion on that, your thoughts there.
I feel like I say this for every answer, but it's really going to depend. It's going to depend on your goals. This isn't, you have to kind of expand your thinking when it comes to ads. It's not about making an immediate sale. It's about understanding the behavior of your buyer. And I will keep on saying that until it drives the point home. Effective marketing and effective advertising, those things are done by understanding who your buyers are and how they behave on a given platform. Every platform is going to operate different, whether it's YouTube, another beat marketplace. It doesn't matter where you go. If you're running ads of any kind, the goal is to get data and insight into how your buyers think and what goes into them making a purchase decision. So, when it comes to gauging your success, it's going to be about what are your individual goals and how committed are you to, seeing it through. Advertising should be part of a long-term strategy. It's not an immediate quick fix to getting a sale. So it's really going to depend on a lot of other factors.
Yeah. Yeah. Danny, one more question. I'm going to pitch it back to you. You answered it a little bit earlier, but just for folks who maybe are a little bit newer coming into the stream, being able to understand, okay, are my beats going to be shown to artists or producers? Is there a way to differentiate that? I know you answered it before, but just for our newcomers here, if you could just touch on that one more time. I'm seeing a couple of comments there.
Yeah, for sure. So I know I was moving a little bit fast there. So yeah, I just click create new campaign to be able to get into this section that you're seeing here. And I just scrolled down to the create custom audience. So I think there's a lot of question. The question really centers around this, right? So to answer the question, when you're thinking about how you use BeatStars as a producer versus how buyers might be using BeatStars, I think this targeting actually really helps a lot, right? Because if you're a producer, you might be going around and clicking through the site, right? And yeah, you might come across an ad on the tracks page or an ad on the search, right? But you have to remember that, we are a marketplace and, there's always two sides to that marketplace, right? So how do you find the buyers? How do you find the people that are on the platform? Well, now when you type in your keywords, right, you can say Kendrick Lamar type beat, you can say GNX, and you can say boom bap, for example, right? Let's just say those were the things that you were trying to target, that you felt your beat could be associated with. Well, now if someone's specifically looking for those keywords, let's say someone types in GNX into the BeatStars search, now there's a higher likelihood that your ad will be displayed for that specific user. So now you have to ask the question, are producers going to be searching for that, or are artists going to be searching for that, right? So that's where the targeting and the strategy around targeting comes into play. Is it really is up to you who's actually going to be able to see your beat, right? The more you understand your audience, the more you understand the types of artists that you're trying to work with and collaborate with, that provides you more opportunity, right? So it really does give the power back to the producer in that way, where as you understand your audience, your targeting becomes more specific to artists, right? And the other part of that question is that if you're a producer who wants to target sound kits don't display on the tracks page or on other parts of the site. Sound kits stay within the sound kits section, and so you can imagine if you're a producer, you'd probably be looking for sound kits, right? So you would go to the sound kits tab on BeatStars. So in those ways, we're trying to help with some of this concern that we see around artists, versus producers seeing ads. I think at some point, we have to figure out how to enhance that for you guys. But for now, I think these tools actually really do a really great job of taking a step in that right direction.
Perfect. And I want to give time. We can jump into some Q&A because I'm seeing some really good questions. But before we do that, Danny, is there anything else that you want to walk us through before we jump into this Q&A section, or anything else that you want to make sure that we hit on?
No, just if I can quickly show everyone kind of the different parts of setting up an ad really quickly. You'll have your campaign title here. This is just internal for you to be able to track. So maybe you want to mention that this is a Kendrick campaign for your Kendrick Lamar type beats. Obviously, this is just an example. You can name it whatever you'd like and however you'd like. You'd be able to select a track, an album, or a sound kit. So let's say in this case, I want to promote my sound kits. I can just select them from the tab here. If you have multiple beats on the platform, you can also search for that specific beat that you have in mind. If it's further down in your list or an older beat, you do have to make a selection in order to be able to promote a track. So let me just pick a track here. Once you select, you can always update it so you're not stuck to it. You don't have to back out of the page. Here, you'll set your daily budget and your bidding amount. You can set this to anything you want via a slider. You can also update it just by doing a text input. You'll have your schedule and duration. So if you want a fixed time for your campaign to be live, you'll be able to update it here and be able to say, hey, I want it to go live on the 9th instead of today. You can do that. You can also run your campaign continuously the way you had been in the past. And in this way, you'd have to manually stop it when you want. You can keep the global audience. You can do the custom targeting and save those changes for that targeting to be saved for your campaign. And then you can check out on the campaign and you're good to go. So once you create that campaign, you'll see it show up in your dashboard and you can go ahead and create another one or wait to gather data from this one. You can see I set this one in the future, so it's showing me that it's scheduled here, but I can still go into it and see the details. I can see how I set it up, and that way I know what's coming for my campaigns. So yeah, just wanted to touch on that. Yeah, we're really excited to bring this to the community. Really excited to see what you guys think of it, see how you guys are using it. We know that targeting was a big thing for the community. We do hear you. We want to be able to continue to enhance this feature. So please keep letting us know what types of features you'd like to see now that we have some more enhanced improvements for you guys.
Perfect. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, I want to get into a few questions here, and then we'll do a quick round of trivia for the promote credits. But I want to address Cloud9. First of all, what's up, man? I want to address your question here. Ellipsy, this is probably for you, but can you show us a quick example of using 3 keywords for a type B campaign? Not expecting sales, but just looking for a best practice on this type of campaign. Thanks. So Ellipsy, I'll toss that over to you if you have any thoughts there.
It looks like he said not to worry about it because Danny already did a pretty good job.
I didn't see. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't see that. My bad. Okay, we're good. We're good. The next question on Instagram. If I budgeted $80 for a promotional campaign and after one day I cancel the campaign, will the money go back to PayPal or how does that work?
So canceling a campaign. All right. Yeah. So let's say you, for whatever reason, you want to stop the campaign, pause the campaign, or end the campaign. We return the amount to your Promote wallet. So you'll be able to use it on future campaigns that you want to be able to set up.
Perfect. The Kendrick, I'm going back to Cloud9's, the Kendrick example was perfect. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, Cloud9, are you talking also about the GNX, the Academy post from the other day? Because if so, I can walk through that as well. If you were mentioning that. Let's get another Rob EVN question here. For example, let's say my bid is $100 for a specific audience and the second higher bidder is $90 made by somebody else. Will I still be charged $100 for 1,000 impressions or less? How does that work? So Danny, that's probably a question for you.
Yeah, it's a really good question. You will be charged less than that $100. So it's the next highest bid amount that we go with, right? So in that specific example, since there's only 2 people, you'd only be out competing the $90, right? So you would only pay $91 in that case for that specific impression, right? So that's the part that I want to make sure everyone walks away with understanding from this is that it doesn't mean you're always going to pay that amount every single time. It just means as you outcompete people, you'll always pay the next highest dollar amount. So because it's an auction, because every time someone comes to the site and views a page, the auction is running, right? You're going to be competing against people on every single view, right? So that amount can change. But in that specific example, if that was me going to BeatStars.com and these 2 ads were up against each other, yeah, the one that has 100 would only pay $91 in that case. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's see. Okay, we got another question here. If anybody also, let me see. Hold on 1 second. I just missed it.
Yeah, I can also clarify on the bidding as well. As you guys are thinking about it, don't think that you're going to be spending like the $100 when someone sees the ad, right? It's for every 1,000 impressions, right? So you always have to take whatever amount that you set as your bid and divide that by 1,000. And that's the actual amount you're going to be spending on that one impression, right? So just want to make that clear for everyone, because I know having the higher numbers can sometimes confuse a lot of us.
Perfect. Here's another question. Let's say 20 people ran an ad with the Drake type beat tag. What beat would come out on top for the query during the ad?
So how many people? Sorry.
20 was just the random
Yeah,
number.
so 20 people. So 20 people, you know, there's going to be a couple of different factors, right? So I'll show you guys as an example, like trying to set it up, right? So let's say it was a Drake keyword. Let's say I had Toronto as another one. And then let's just say I had, maybe it was an R&B type beat that I had as well. I saved these changes, right? So what are the factors, once I have this targeting, what are the factors that could influence me versus 20 other people who might have done something similar, right? At least had Drake in the keyword. The biggest differentiator is going to be the bid amount, right? So there's nothing wrong with leaving it at $2. I saw some comments saying that people with low bids now don't have a chance. I don't think that's very accurate to say. I would say if you want to leave it at $2, that's definitely a strategy you can employ, and it won't ruin your chances of your ad being shown. Your ad definitely has a shot of being shown under these keywords. It just means that, you know, let's say the highest person within those 20 had a $50 bid amount. Chances are they're more likely to show up the first time someone searches for that keyword. Now, let's say they had a $5 budget, $5 daily budget, but you had a $10 daily budget. This basically means that they had a $5 daily budget and they're willing to spend a little bit more for every single impression. So chances are that they're going to be shown a lot. They're going to run through the daily budget a lot sooner than you. So that means that once they're kind of removed from that auction pool, you can think of it as a pool. That means that your ad is bumped up and more likely to show up for the Drake keyword, right? So that's kind of the beauty of this system that we have now, right? Is like there's more opportunity for people to show up. I mean, that's probably the easiest way I can explain it, is that it's always a constant pool of people, and the system uses different components like your, you know, maximum daily spend, your bidding amount, to be able to determine a decision as to what to show. It's also worth noting on the keywords, I didn't mention this before, that just because you're targeting Drake, it doesn't mean people that don't search for that can't see you at all, right? We don't want to alienate the opportunity for your ad to be seen. It just means that if someone's searching or filtering for that, you know, they're more likely to see your ad, but your ad still has the ability to be shown a little bit wider.
Perfect. Okay. Cloud9 had one really quick that I think we can answer. Can you also target cities, or is it just countries? Right now, just countries. But Danny, I don't know if you want to add to that at all.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, just countries at the moment, but we do hear you guys. I think that's the second comment we've heard for cities. So yeah,
for sure. Another YouTube comment is, will you be able to edit your bid or targeting after the campaign is made? The option to modify during campaigns is essential. Danny, probably another you question.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Right now, at the moment, you're not able to edit any of the parameters within your campaign. If you made a mistake or you want to stop a campaign, the best thing to do right now is just to go here into either into your campaign details, or just cancel your campaign via this section here, and then redo the targeting on a new campaign. That's probably the best way to do that right now. And again, you'd be the promote credits would go back to your wallet. So on this next campaign, you if you kept the same settings, you wouldn't have to pay.
Okay. Anyway, well, what's up, man? Anyway, well, Beats has a question. Will we be able, or no, I'm sorry, will we have a retargeting option?
A retargeting option. So that's an option that we currently don't have in this version. It's definitely something that we can work towards for the community. But I'm assuming this is the ability for someone to land on your ad, have an interaction, and then be able to retarget those people who have interacted with your ad already, or your page already. I think that's a great feature. I think that's something that we can definitely look into, but it's not something that's currently available.
No problem. Also, Danny, if anybody is experiencing some sort of issue, if maybe a campaign is being canceled before it sees its way all the way through, who's the best person to reach out to from the BeatStars side?
Yeah, if there's any issues, always please feel free to reach out to our support team. We're able to look into whatever issues might be happening and help you, fix the issue or come to a conclusion on why certain things are happening.
Yeah. And that email is support@beatstars.com. So Tyler Druyard, I see your question there. Probably reach out to support@beatstars.com. That's going to be the best place to go there. So let me see. There's another question from Cloud9. So the sales conversion section means how many sales conversions happen from the ads, correct?
Correct. That's correct. Yeah. So these will be specifically attributed to your ads and your conversions from ads.
Okay. Perfect. Let's see. Okay. And another question, and then we can get into the trivia section. Let's see. Here we go. So if you do a targeting for rap, sad, and piano, for example, besides those 3 keywords, would we still be shown in the marketplace search? He just wants to make sure for clarification, and let me know if you need me to reread that.
No, yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of people might have that question, and the answer is yes. You still have the opportunity to be shown in the marketplace outside of those keywords. The keywords are mostly to ensure that when someone is trying to specifically find those types of beats, you're more likely to be able to show up for those. But you will be able to be seen outside of those keywords in the marketplace for sure.
Okay. A couple more questions. One, Astro Beats. Just FYI, if you are having any issues with your promote campaign, please reach out to our support team, support@beatstars.com. We'll be able to make sure that you are taken care of. Ellipsy, this might be a question for you, and then we'll switch over to the quick trivia, which is how often should you consistently post to maximize your reach?
You ready for me to say that it depends? Again, there's no one size fits all strategy for success. You have your own audience. Of course, the marketplace does bring in some traffic to your page organically, but you have the option to bring in your own audience. And that's what I've done with my own brand. So really whatever it is that you're doing, if it's consistent, it's likely to bring some type of results. There's no one size fits all where, hey, if you post every day at 3 p.m., you're going to somehow get shot up to the top. That's not necessarily the case. Your audience better than I do. But, that's one of those things. If you take a look at your buyer's behavior, and if you notice that if you post twice a week, that brings more traction into you, more plays and more engagement, more sales than it does when you post every day, then maybe that 2-day a week is more effective for you. It's not necessarily going to be about frequency, and it's not necessarily going to be about the number of beats that's coming in. It's going to be about the behaviors that your buyers and your audience that are normally interacting with your stuff, what they do and what they like and what their preferences are. I would recommend really going through your data and documenting those things and using that to make a tailored strategy that works for you.
Awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's switch over. This is going to be a rapid trivia section, but actually before we get there, any final thoughts from you, Danny, from you, Ellipsy, just really quick before we head over to this next section?
Just from my end, I'm reading all the comments. I'm sure we'll look and digest afterwards as well, but just know that, I really hear you guys. We really appreciate the community here at BeatStars, and we want to be able to improve this product moving forward. So please keep giving us feedback, and we'll do our best to be able to bring more value to you guys.
Awesome. Ellipsy, what about you?
I just want to implore people not to be afraid to experiment. This is it's all about trial and error, and this is a new thing for all of us. So I know it can seem kind of intimidating to get used to something like this, and it can feel like you have a lot of hesitations, but there's always the option not to participate in that system and still rely on your own organic traction and your marketing list and or your email marketing list, all the things that you've normally been doing. So this is just a tool to enhance what you're already doing. And I don't be discouraged. There's a lot of room for growth here, and all data is good data. That's what I'm gonna leave you with.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna hop into a quick round of trivia. The way that this is gonna work is I have a question for each channel that somebody is watching on. So there's a question for YouTube. I haven't seen any Facebook comments coming through. But we do have a question for Facebook. If not, we'll redirect it somewhere else. And then we have a question for our Instagram watchers as well. So the way that this is going to work is I'm going to ask a trivia question. Whoever is the first person to answer, the first person I see, so you got to be quick, you will receive $50 in promote credit. The only thing that I'm going to need is for you to reach out to us with your email and then your marketplace link. So again, I'm going to ask a question. It's going to be a first come, kind of first serve type of thing. And then whoever has the correct answer, you'll get that $50 in promote credits. So here we go. We're going to start with YouTube first. So this is our YouTube folks. This is everybody who's commenting on YouTube. This question is for you. Okay. Which producer has credits on every track of Kendrick's latest GNX album? Again, which producer has credits on every track of Kendrick's latest GNX album? Let's see. Let's see. Not me. Final answer. Breaking 777. Yes, Soundwave. That is it. Okay. Nope. Soundwave. That is it. So Beat King 777. Sorry. Beat King 777. I saw yours first. So if you could just drop your email and your marketplace link in the comment, we will take that and then we'll be able to apply that to your account. So again, just drop your email and your marketplace link here in the comments and we'll be able to get that over to you. So now we're going to switch over to Instagram. So anybody who's commenting on Instagram, this question is for you specifically. Okay. So which Atlanta-based producer produced for West Coast legends Snoop Dogg, E40, Too Short, and Ice Cube all on one song? Again, the question is, which Atlanta-based producer produced for West Coast legends Snoop Dogg, E40, Too Short, and Ice Cube all on one song? All right, let's see. All right, it's going. Nope, not 808 Mafia, not London on the Track. Restoven, yes, Kato on the Track. That is it. Okay, Restoven, DM on Instagram, DM us your email address and then also DM us your marketplace link and we will make sure that you are taken care of. Okay, so again, DM us your email address and your marketplace link as well. So shout out to you on that one. And then let's see, I'm not really seeing too many Facebook comments. Let's see. So we'll go back with Instagram for this one. So Instagram, we got one more for you. So here we go. Which producer sampled the banjo from 9 Inch Nails' 34 Ghosts 4 to make a hip hop / pop / country song? Again, the question is, which producer sampled the banjo from 9 Inch Nails' 34 Ghosts 4 to make a hip hop / pop / country song? Nope, not Weezy, not Kanye. Nope. It lives. Shout out to you, DJ. Metro. Nope. Not Pharrell. I'm gonna ask it one more time. Which producer sampled the banjo from 9 Inch Nails' 34 Ghosts 4 to make a hip hop / pop / country song? Let's see if anybody. Let's see. Histy, yes. Keo, young Keo, that is it. That is it, Histy. Yes. So, okay. So, Histy, again, to get the promote credit, just DM us your email and your marketplace link. Again, just DM us your email and your marketplace link, and we will make sure that you are taken care of. So, okay. Shout out to you guys. That was fun. Wanted to give away some promote credits so that way you guys can take all this information and hopefully immediately apply it to some of your own campaigns. Any other questions, Danny, or anything for you, Ellipsy, just kind of as we wrap up? I know we kind of gave some final thoughts, but yeah, this is our outro time. So anything else that you want to leave us with, please do.
No, yeah, nothing on my end. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone on the marketplace. I'm really excited to see what you guys think of it. And yeah, thank you guys for all the feedback.
Perfect. Thank you guys. All right. Thanks, y'all. Until next time.